Hey, it's Marilyn Devonish here from transformationstm.com. And today we are here to talk about Huna, Huna. Now, Huna is one of my absolutely most favorite modalities. It's right up there with one of my client favorites as well. And one of the things that people absolutely love about Huna is the remote energy transfer element of it, which means I can be here in the United Kingdom and I can have clients as far afield as Australia, Canada, America, all across Europe, and they all feel and experience those transmissions and those changes even when they're not on the live event. So what I'm going to do for you today is just run through a very, very small selection of some of my favorite Huna client testimonials and the things that absolutely have blown my mind about Huna over the last few years. And the reason I'm doing this today specifically is that there's an offer on at the moment to save 40% off of the 1-day on-demand Huna video webinar workshop. So in a nutshell, what that means is you can take the class starting today. You can get started in about 5 minutes from now, even while I'm here on this Facebook Live, because it's been recorded with a live studio audience, as they used to say back in TV days. But then now it's on demand. So you just click the button and you're in, and the running time is approximately 8 hours. So it is the full Huna workshop. Hey, Nathan, how are you? Oh, that's lovely. Let me just show you that one there. So Nathan says, I'm thankful and grateful to have you for a friend. Lovely to know you too, Nathan. That is absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me from across the pond. Yeah, and Huna, and this one, I'm going to start with this quote because it was just hilarious. This was a few years ago. I was running sessions and emceeing. Actually, I didn't run any. No, I did a little mini Huna session, but I was hosting and emceeing the TCCHE, which is the Conference for Consciousness and Human Evolution. So some of you know that. You've got Dr. Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Lynn McTaggart, people like Nassim Haramein, who speak at this event. And we had a situation the very first time I emceed where I was just literally, my foot was on the stage, and the person who runs the event said, I've just found out that the people from Grenfell Towers are downstairs. Now, for those of you in the UK, that will mean something to you. If you're not in the UK, you can Google it. But they were going through a very traumatic time because a tower block had caught light and people were unable to escape. So these were some of the survivors. And he says, can you do something, a meditation or something? So I put my second foot on the stage, and while I'm walking to the center of the stage, because there's about 650 people there, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do that's quick? And I thought, well, let's just do Huna then. So I did a round of Huna, and at this point, people didn't know who I was, had no idea what I was doing. And I'll show you some of the feedback from that event in a few minutes. People were absolutely blown away. And of the hundreds of people in the room, they all felt the Huna and had a very unique and individual experience of it, even though they had no idea what was going on. And on one of the TCCHE events, the first night, no, it's the second night, because that's when we go for the speaker dinner. So the second night, where we're speakers, we all go out to dinner, and they show a film for the attendees. And the film finishes at around 10:15 p.m. So it's quite a long day. And as we were going to break, I saw a guy, and you know, somebody who doesn't look okay. So I said, hi, how are you doing? And he says, oh, so I've got terrible jet lag. And he was him and two colleagues, a woman and a man. And he said, we've just flown in from Japan and come straight from the airport. I'm so tired. I don't know if I can stay and come back for the evening, but I really want to see the film. So I said, oh, would you like a quick energy boost? And he said, oh, and I said, I do this thing called Huna. I said, you don't have to do anything. You just have to stand there. It will take a minute or two. So he looks at his two colleagues. They all look at me, and he went, okay. So he just stands in the middle of the room, and it's a massive room. I've got a few pictures of the room in a minute. I'll show you so you get a sense of where we were. And I just kind of quickly went, and just did a minute or so of Huna. He looked at me and he went, Huna is better than Starbucks. Huna is better than Red Bull. And I just laughed and I walked off and went to the speaker dinner. Saw him the next night, said, hey, how are you doing? He's buzzing. And he said the exact thing. He's like, Huna is better than Starbucks. Huna is better than Red Bull. So it has this miraculous ability to just, and I often used to say that it was like, for me, I don't drink, but I used to say it's like the Heineken of healing and energy modalities, where Huna will reach the parts that other things cannot reach. And this was a beautiful example of that. Hi, Alexa. Thank you so much for joining me. So Alexa says it's magical and she loves Huna. Absolutely. Alexa has been the recipient of many a Huna transmission in the membership group, etc. So that is wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Alexa. Really appreciate it. And what I'm doing this weekend, I thought it would be a really nice way to start the year. But it doesn't even matter where you are. You could be watching this in January. You could be watching it in July. You could be watching it in August. It is such a brilliant way if you need a boost. And it might be that you want to fire things up. It may be that you want to calm things down. It may be that you want to get yourself more into alignment, more deeper connection with your sense of self and spirituality. So you can use it in many ways. It could be that you want to start cutting and releasing old links and ties and connections, because one of the things that we cover on the workshop, which I don't tend to do when I'm doing the shorter webinars and the intro teleseminars, etc., but I also take you through the Ho'oponopono. Many people know what I call the social media version of Ho'oponopono, which is the I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. However, when I went over to Hawaii, the Ho'oponopono is a full process. So it involves the stage, it involves the ancestors, it involves the Arca connections, it involves the symbols, it involves the Avaiku. So there's a whole big process around it. And I kind of show you that process on the video webinar as well. And you get to experience the process, because then I take you through the whole Ho'oponopono thing yourself. So if there are things that you want to release and resolve from the past, you can do that on the workshop also. So let me show you just some of these examples. I'm going to choose them at random. Now, this is an interesting one, actually. Oh, hold on. Did I add it? Let me add it so I can just show you the synchronicity of how this stuff works. This is what I called it. So this is just crazy cool. So some of you might have heard about Clubhouse. Here we go. So some of you may have heard of this thing called Clubhouse. I joined a couple of weeks ago. It's fabulous. I do love it. And I'm just before I started listening, I sat to put the slides in that I wanted to use for this particular Facebook Live and presentation and YouTube stream. And I'm thinking about a guy called David, because one of the slides I have in the deck is something that happened to a friend of mine, a client of mine called David Key, where he was saying this stuff is like magic. And so I'm sat here putting the presentation together and think about David as I put this slide up. And I thought, oh, let me see what's happening in Clubhouse, which when you're in Clubhouse, you'll recognize that. So I'm flicking through and I'm scrolling, and that you get all the bigger rooms first, where there's like 1,000 people in the room. And then there's a bit where you go further and you see the rooms that are much smaller. And I noticed that David Key was in one of the rooms. I was like, oh my God, I've just been thinking about David. So I click into the room. And then when we're there, he talks about the very first time we met, where he had a migraine. And he said to people on the Clubhouse just now, he said, this woman, aka Marilyn, me, he said, she freaked me out. He said, I had a migraine. She waved her hands above my head and the migraine just evaporated. And that was the very first time I met David Key. Some of you will know him. He teaches NLP, Auspicium Limited. And a little bit after that, he became a client, and he was having problems with a neighbor who had parked a rusty car in front of his driveway, and they would have these kind of run-ins and altercations about it. And one day it had come to a head yet again, and he was driving. I said, okay, pull over. So he's on his mobile phone, traffic's rushing past. I'm here sat at this desk, and I did some Huna over the phone. The next day, his wife opens the door and says, David, come here. And he's like, oh, what now? Because this had been going on for 9 months. He comes to the door. The car, which had been the bone of contention that entire time, was gone. And David phoned me up and said the thing that clients always say after we've done this kind of work. We did a breakthrough session, but Huna was part of that. And he says, "You're not going to believe this." And I immediately thought, I bet you the car's gone. But I mean, don't like to steal my client's thunder. So I said, "Go on then, surprise me, what's happened?" And he said, "Anna thinks you're a white witch," because he'd said to Anna, I spoke to Marilyn yesterday, car was just gone. So this is one of those examples. What happened after that, and again, I'd already written this on my Facebook page, I just hadn't hit the press button, because then I thought, oh, let me scroll through Clubhouse and listen while I'm working. He then told one of his clients, Lack Loy, because Lack was blocked with something. He says, "Oh my goodness, I know who could help you with that. Call Marilyn." So Lack gets in touch, and he was blocked with getting contracts. So he was working for himself. Many of you know what that feels like now, even if you didn't before the pandemic. And you know what it's like to be out of contract, i.e. out of work. He was out of work for 9 months. So he phones me up, we do a session. So he's on his mobile phone in London, I'm here. I do some Huna over the phone. A couple of days later, I get a phone call from Lack. It's saying wow, oh my God, the goosebump moments. And he said, "You're not going to believe this." He said a contract that was dead in the water has just suddenly, out of the blue, they want me to start tomorrow. And because he'd then gotten into the routine of being at home with the kids and all that sort of stuff, he then said to them, "Oh, do you mind if I start on Monday?" Because he just wanted a bit of time to sort it out with the family. And he's been busy ever since. And about 5 years later, I was out at a dinner. Jack, Lack, Jatinda, the guys were all there. And I said, "Hey, Lack, how you doing?" He went, "Oh man, it's so busy." And I just laughed to myself, because I remember when we met, the problem was there was no work. So that was amazing. And one of the things he said, actually, let me just do that so you can read that as well. He says, "You're not going to believe this," which clients say a lot after they've experienced Huna. "I knew there was a block and now it's gone. You have an amazing ability and it is having miraculous effects," because basically that's what Huna feels like. And the word magic is very common in Huna, just in the same way we would use the word, I don't know, washing up liquid. They talk about Huna magic, and it's often how people describe the process. So, and what's the lovely connection was, it was David Key that told Lack Loy about the Huna, and this is what just happened a few minutes ago in Clubhouse. So it was just really fantastic. And it's so you can see the date for yourself. It's there in the corner. So 16:30, what's that? 16:23, Saturday the 9th of January. So that's the screenshot just now. David Key joined Clubhouse on the 3rd of January. When did I join? I think I joined on the 24th of December, but having then seen that he was on it, I just clicked in. First thing David said was, "Oh my goodness, Marilyn, we haven't spoken for years. It must be like 2013 or something." And so it was really nice to reconnect with him. And some of you may have watched the video on my website where David was talking about his revenue going up by 300% after we did the one-day breakthrough session. If you haven't seen it, it's on my transformations website. It's on the testimonials page, and there's a YouTube video. What I'll also do once this video is over, because I can't put anything in the comments at the moment, I can put a link to that video in the comments as well. But again, there was a big element of Huna in that, in terms of unblocking the things around money, business, etc. And his quote, because he's very good at his metrics, and so his revenue went up by 300%. So really nice to connect with David just a few minutes ago. And while I was in Clubhouse, I then said, "David, do you mind if I share what you said and leave Huna?" And he went, "No, please, anytime, share away." So just really, and the synchronicities. Oh, have I got the mermaid one? The first time I was going to run Huna and teach it, obviously as an in-person workshop back then, I was like, oh my goodness, shall I teach this, or shall I just leave people to have to fly to Hawaii for 2 weeks? And I said, okay, if I'm meant to teach it, give me a sign. And the image that came into my head was a mermaid. I'm like, dude, I'm in Watford. Where am I going to see a mermaid? I'm not kidding you. And there's a whole slide about it in the workshop where I tell you the whole story. But I go onto Facebook. I think it was Anita that had posted a picture, but a friend had posted a picture of a mermaid just randomly. And it was the first thing that I saw. And this is a meditation that I'd done in my mind. Then something else. Oh, that was it. I'm in here. The door was closed like it is now. And I'd run out of water. So I then got up and I opened the door, And the words I heard, and I still get goosebumps when I talk about it. Whoa! The guy said, okay, well, you go to Australia to check out the mermaid story. I will go to Hawaii and check out the Aumakua. The Aumakua is the name for higher self. And I just, seriously, I stood in that door, the door's over there, that's why I'm pointing over there. I stood in the door and I'm like, what just happened? I had no idea it was on the TV because I couldn't hear it while the door was closed. So I put my water on the little table thing, and I just sat watching. I was like, what the hell is this program? And it turns out it was a program called like Fact or Fiction, something like that, where people send them photographs. Actually, have I got it? If I can remember let me just see. If I can find it quickly, I'll show you. But I'll talk while I'm looking over here, but I'm not ignoring you. So people send in photographs of phenomena, like they might have seen an alien or something like that, but someone claimed they'd seen a mermaid. Someone else had sent in a photograph. Factor, what's it going to be? Huna mermaid. What did I call it? Huna Aumakua. I'm going to have. Actually, is that the one? Oh no, I don't think that's the one I'm thinking of. I'm going to have a look and see if I can find it because it'd be really cool. No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. I see if I can find it, but I'll tell you about it. But if I find the picture, I'll put it in. And a woman had been taking pictures of her granddaughter out in Hawaii since her granddaughter was baby. Every single time she took photos, she would see what she called the higher self, the Aumakua, clear as day in the photographs. She was a very strong believer. Nobody else could capture this in photos. So what this team do is they fly around the world and they recreate it to prove that it's a hoax. I have since watched that program loads of times, and I can only think of one other occasion where they have had to go, maybe there's something in it. The second occasion, and this is the first occasion was the first time I watched it, but since then I've seen them do it one more time. The first and clearest one where they all were in agreement because they tried everything to recreate what she was capturing in the photographs, and they all conceded that there's something in it. We can't disprove what she's got here that she's captured on film. And they tried everything in terms of the exposures, and it was crazy. So I sat and I watched that and I was like, okay, universe, thank you very much. If I hadn't got the first sign in terms of going onto Facebook and randomly seeing a mermaid, I've got it now. I'm all in. So ran the workshop, and what people said was absolutely amazing. So synchronicities abound, both for me and for my Huna clients. It is just amazing. Now, one of the questions I get a lot is, number one, does the energy travel? And number two, what if you're not there in person? Because this is an on-demand workshop, so it's a recording. This is from one of my clients out in Australia for many years ago now. This was in the days where I was doing tele seminars, as in on the phone. Pippa, who is in Australia, wasn't on it live because there's such a massive time difference. Although you guys who did the 10-part Raising Your Money Vibration series will know that even though it was 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning for Pippa, she was always on the webinars live because just loved being with us all and chatting. But on this occasion, she wasn't able to make it live. She listened to the recording few days afterwards and said, I'll send you some feedback. I was like, oh great, because I had people from my often when I'm launching new processes, I'll look for volunteers from my e-newsletter list, or they'll get to do it at kind of next to nothing price as I'm testing it out, and in exchange for that you send me feedback. So she then sent me feedback, which is amazing. It's here on the screen for those of you who've got a big enough screen to read it, and if you haven't, I'll read it to you in a moment. Now that was great. So it's amazing. It was only when I was running the Raising Your Money Vibration workshop, what would be coming up to 2 years ago now. I'm reading this to the group as the pre-frame, just in case they can't make everything live. And as I was reading, I suddenly realized I hadn't seen all those years ago that what Pippa was describing is exactly the order and sequence with which I'd done the Huna. But on the recording, she had no idea what the symbols were. All Pippa would have heard is, and even somebody who knows Huna has no idea what symbols I just did, because we will all intonate them differently and go at different speeds. What Pippa said, she said, initially, my third eye throat and heart center and solar plexus all felt compressed. What she will have no idea about is that I opened that sequence with the literal translation of the symbol that I used is thunder comes down and strikes the earth and makes the earth shake. People who are sensitive to energy will often feel it as a pushback. So that's what she was describing. And she said it was uncomfortable, to say the least. She said, after the first round of Huna, I sensed the image of a red triangle of fire. What she would have had no idea about on the MP3 audio recording is after I broke the energy up, I used the red triangle of fire to burn the energy away. She then says, during and after the second round, I felt the pain being drawn out of my body by my heart center. Again, she would have had no idea. And this is a process that we use for those of you who've done a soul plan reading, for example. When we do that process where we do the guided meditation for the soul plan hologram and resetting your soul plan blueprint, I do something called sword fingers. And so what I did at that stage, having broken it down, burnt it away, I used the sword fingers to clear the energy, and I opened up the heart and solar plexus. She then said, I slowly began to feel lighter, and my heart center opened up more than previously, and I felt as I was glowing from the inside out. Again, she would have had no idea that after I'd done all of that and cleared the energy out, I then used a symbol. When you see the symbol, the sun is radiating outwards. She then says, and as I'm typing the phrase, as if the light of my soul is now able to shine through my heart center comes to mind. And that is exactly what that symbol is about. She then said, the third round gave me a sense of my heart center expanding into the universe, and I now have a sense of being more open, and I believe I've totally cleared the blocks, and I feel more confident, happy, and open. What I then closed with was an energy symbol to open things up, and then we realign the chakras, for those of you who work with the chakra system. And she says, I'm glowing at the joy of it all. And then there's a symbol that you put around, which is like the cloak of light. And then I closed again with that whole thing about the sense of joy. But I only noticed, like 5 years after she wrote this, that she was spot on with every single thing that I did. So in answer to the question, does the energy carry? Even if you're watching it as a replay recording, that is the long answer to the short answer of yes. So that's that. So for people who are wondering about that, let me just show you also how it works in terms of a group, because this is a picture from the TCCHE. So the people you can see on stage there, going from left to right as it appears on my screen, you've got the wonderful Greg Braden, you've got Dr. Joe Dispenza, who is amazing, and you've got the I love Bruce Lipton, Dr. Bruce Lipton. So Greg Braden, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, and that's me on stage with them. At the TCCHE, we're doing a Q&A panel, and what you can see, the little speech bubbles are from people who were in the audience when I just did 2 to 3 minutes of Huna. One person said, thank you so much for everything, the Huna and how beautifully you held the energy of the room and managed everything. Someone else said, I attended the 4-day TCCHE event a couple of weeks ago, because people were emailing me weeks afterwards to tell me what was still happening. So I attended the 4-day TCCHE event a couple of weeks ago, and although I found the speakers fascinating, your Huna had the most profound effect on me. Someone else said, I did speak to you at the event, brackets, in the ladies, she's in the toilet, because I couldn't walk 2 steps without somebody coming up to go, what did you do? What is it called? And then telling me what happened for them. And I couldn't go anywhere, even when I was in the toilet, the John, as you say in America. People are talking over the cubicle while I'm in the toilet to tell me how amazing it was. So she said, I did speak to you at the event, brackets, in the ladies, and explained how I felt the energy around me and a sense of calm. But since that time, I'm quite amazed at what has happened. Now, the thing that really makes me smile about that, my logo from day one, when I came up with it in 2001, has always been the ripple effect. So those of you will find that once you've done the Huna, the ripple effect continues for days, weeks, months, or even years afterwards. These are just some of the symbols. So the one you can see there center stage, that's the one where I opened up the energy, where Pippa said she felt the energy opening up. And so I show you the symbols on the workshop. I explain what the symbols are. We have some exercises that we do with the symbols, and I have several experiential sessions that I do as well. So you get to have a much longer version of what the process that Pippa was talking about in that example. So it's just amazing. And some of you may have heard me talk about Amana, for example. When I first started putting Huna and Access Consciousness together, Amana Shaka, for those of you who know her on social media, and I mention her name because she's written about it herself as well and given me permission to speak about it. And she sent me the check just in case anyone doubted what I was saying. She went, let me just send you a picture of the check so that when you speak about it in the future, you have the proof right in front of you. So this is Amana, and this is a check. But she had a situation with HMRC, the tax organization here in the UK, and she owed them £800, didn't have the money to pay it. And I had just finished the Access Consciousness training with Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here. And I said, well, I've been experimenting with this thing where I put Huna and Access Consciousness together. Do you fancy doing so? So she's on the phone. So I'm in my living room on this occasion, and I'm saying, okay. And she's coming up with the statements, and I'm running the Access Consciousness clearing statement. And we're clearing the energy around the words. And then we do a Huna energy clearing as well, all over the phone. I think it was 2 days later, she phones me up. She says, you're not going to believe what's happened. Or, it's like, okay, go on, surprise me. And she said, the post came and there was an envelope, brown envelope on the mat from HMRC. And her first thought was, oh, for goodness sake, I've already told you I'm going to try and find the money by the end of next week. So she opens the envelope expecting it to maybe be confirmation or just another threatening letter. And she opened it, and there was a check for 800, and I think it's 820. It's small print, but it was either 846 or 826, but let's just say £826 from HMRC, for a company that she and her sister had like a decade ago, and randomly out of the blue, they sent her a refund. So what she did is she banked the check for £826. When it cleared, she took £800 and paid the HMRC. Seriously, you could not make this stuff up. There are other stories that I could share just about Amana, but you can watch the full video. Again, that's on my testimonial page where we talk about the speaking it into existence and the power of the energy clearing. But that is the actual picture of the check, just to give you a sense of how this stuff works. Because I know when people are thinking about doing a workshop, a program, will it work for me? How does it work? Da, da, da. So I just want to break it all down. Because the 40% off ends tomorrow at midnight. So I want to give you all of the information you need so that you have a sense of how it all works. And of course, everyone is going to have a different experience of it. So just because somebody's got a check for £826 doesn't mean that you will. But I just want to give you a flavor of how it works. There's also the physical stuff. So this was a lovely lady from my membership group, and she and her husband were on one of my workshops. And before we went to break, I just said, oh, does anyone want a quick round of Huna? So I just went round to each person, did 30 to 60 seconds. And I just did what I was drawn to do in terms of the symbols. And people just sat there, and all they had to do is say, yes, please, I'd like some Huna. So we're now in the next segment of the workshop. And I heard her husband say, oh, go on, tell Marilyn. And I went, tell me what? And he said, Kate has had a frozen shoulder for 18 months and has not been able to move it. She did physio, osteo, sports massage, you name it, she'd done it, couldn't move her arm. And then, so he says, go on, show her. She went like this and just put her arm straight up in the air. So what she said here is immediate physical impact in being able to move my arm properly for the first time in 18 months. And that was just for a minute. There's a similar one in here. Have I put it in where actually, bit of fluff. Oh yeah, this was the one, I believe. Yes. So this is someone who came on my magic and gratitude workshop and then also did the Huna workshop. And again, I just did a couple of minutes and she got up to walk to break. So we're all in the room having eaten the Marks and Spencer's cakes. And she walked and went, oh my gosh. So we all look around and went, what? She went, I just walked to the bathroom. And we're like, yeah. And then she says, no, you don't understand. She said there was no pain in my ankle. She'd been in pain for, I think it was something ridiculous, like 2 years or something like that. The bit it's pointing to now, she says, no pain in my ankle. Because I was saying, you know, what's been some of the best bits of the workshop for you? Again, I had no idea about the shoulder. I had no idea that, no, she did tell me she had a problem with her ankle. I didn't know about the shoulder. So that's why I say that Huna works in the most mysterious and the most miraculous of ways. And again, I am not making any health claims. There's no healing claims. The energy just does what the energy wants to do. And the very first time I ran it, and this was the first in-person workshop, someone said there were little things throughout that I said, that Marilyn said throughout the day that almost felt channeled and very important. And it's really interesting that people will attend the workshops either in person or online, and something will land with them and for them, which is like an awakening, because one of the kind of the things in the original Huna scrolls was talking about those who are destined to live Huna in this lifetime, they'll find it. And it's just always quite profound when people sit and do that process. Let's see, what does, Nathan says, I'm going to finally do this with you. You're a powerful woman. I'll work with you. Well, Nathan, if you did want to, the 40% off ends tomorrow. So it ends midnight for us in the United Kingdom. So that might be, I don't know, depending on what time zone you're in, maybe actually you're Yes, it might be your sort of very early morning, but pretty much tomorrow at midnight UK time. Currently, just to give you a sense of perspective, it's 7:15 p.m. here in the United Kingdom. The 40% off is ending. What I will do is I will go into the Facebook Live thread. I'll post the direct link to the workshop there. And if you happen to be watching it on YouTube, then I'll put the link for the 40% off in the description. Also, a proviso, it's 50% off for those of you on my e-newsletter list. So please check your email inbox for that. That would be amazing. Please see the DM. Please see the DM. Yes, actually, let me, I'm not in Facebook and I'm not going to mess with it now. Let me have a quick look here. Didn't get a chance to follow up you. Huna session in December, had a job interview the following week and secured work. Wow, seriously, that's crazy. And that's happened for you before, immediately after you did a Huna session. And I believe you were offered not one job, but two. So you went from, I've had no work for 9 months to, whoa, I've got to choose from 2 jobs. That is amazing. Thank you so much for the update. Really appreciate it. Lovely to have feedback coming in real time as well. That is absolutely amazing. Oh yeah, I remember this one. So years ago, I spoke at the Richmond NLP group, and I was talking about goal setting, why goal setting doesn't work, and what you can actually do to supercharge your goals. And one of the attendees at that evening workshop booked a 1-hour Huna session. Great. So she walks in and I said, okay, what do you want to focus on? And she said, I hate my life, I hate my job, I hate my boss. So I'm like, okay, not much then. And I thought, what's the quickest thing I can do? If I'm doing a 1-day breakthrough session, we've got time to really delve into that. So I thought, right, okay, what's going to be my shortcut? Let's do Huna. So we do it as a predominantly Huna session after a few kind of coaching questions and reframes, etc. Off she goes. A few days later, I get a phone call, and she said, hi, it's so-and-so. And I was a bit silent because I'm like, who? Because I, met her the once. She went, I met you at Richmond NLP. I booked the Huna session. I was like, oh, yeah, how are you? She says, you're not going to believe this. I'm like, here we go. And actually, this one did surprise me, because one of the things that she discovered is that there were new interns. She'd been there several years. There were new people, less skilled, and in lower positions that were being paid more than she was being paid. She also didn't get on with her boss. Whenever her boss spoke to her, it was always to reprimand her, criticize something. So she says, I went into work after we did the Huna, And my boss was like a different person. Number one, we had a chat about how was your weekend. Oh, I've got goosebumps again as I think about this one. How was your weekend, etc. She says that never happens. And now she's a bit like, what's going on? And they just had a really nice chat. And then partway through the day, her boss said, oh, can I have a word with you, please? She went, oh, here we go. So she walks into the office. They said, we've been reviewing your files and we realize you're being underpaid. So effective immediately, we're giving you a pay rise. It was not pay review time. It was not appraisal time. It was nothing time. Out of the blue, she gets a pay rise. So she's on the phone going, what happened? What did you do to my boss? And I'm like, I don't know your boss. I don't know her boss's name. I don't know what her boss looks like. I don't know where her boss is located. I have no idea where she works. So this stuff, a bit like David Key with the car, just disappearing the day after we did the Huna. Seriously, it's miraculous. And those of you who have attended the photo reading workshop, you would have had a tiny little taster of the power of Huna, because on the Friday night we do a bonus Huna session. And the reason I do a bonus session and tack it on the end of the Friday night is I realized many years ago that the challenge with photo is, photo reading, for those who don't know, it's an accelerated reading and learning technique. So how to read at 25,000 words per minute and photo read a whole book in 5 minutes and have strategies so you can remember and recall what you've read. So I do a bonus session on the Huna workshop because I've realized Huna is very simple, 5 steps, very straightforward. Step 1 takes a minute or two. Step 2, where you do your preview, it's 60 to 90 seconds, so maximum 1.5 minutes. Step 3, where you photo read the whole book, anything from 3 to 5 minutes. Step 4, I give my clients 2.5 to 3 minutes. And step 5, the activation, you could activate a book in 15 minutes and start to extract the information that you need. So the steps are very simple and very straightforward. And I'm like, why are people getting so confused? What's going on here? I was like, it's mindset and beliefs. Okay. So I started doing the Huna as a bonus, and that is also included because the Huna is the photo reading workshop is also online as a full 3-day video webinar certification class. And in that program, I've also done a 1-hour Huna session. So this is from, some of you might know Suki, this is from his wife, Parvinder. And she said, talk about grabbing the bull by the horns. When you did the Huna healing on me, oh my God, exclamation mark. I couldn't believe how accurate your diagnosis was. You didn't tell me you're a doctor as well as everything else, because people have the most profound shifts and changes in terms of their mindset, in terms of their beliefs, in terms of their energy. Her daughter who was there, again, I had no idea that her daughter had kind of dislocated her shoulder. And I do the Huna because it was kind of winter, coming up to winter. So I turn the lights off. I leave the PC and the stage lights on just so I can see as I walk about the room, and everybody basically sits with their eyes closed, and so they got no idea what I'm doing. But with her daughter, I felt drawn to working near her shoulder. So when everyone opened their eyes and just talks about their experience, her daughter said, I don't know why, but when you were near me, I felt some heat in my shoulder. And they got some really big guard dogs, and she'd been out walking the dogs, and the dog had seen something and did that thing where it tried to go off and it had yanked her shoulder. And I had no idea about this. And she said, my shoulder feels much better now. Thank you so much. So you get really profound stuff happening. That's why the photo reading is so freaking amazing. One of the reasons why it's so amazing. It is a spiritual development course anyway. It goes way beyond reading. And I've been saying that since I became an instructor in March 2002. And the photo reading just adds a whole other dimension where, wow, that's why people change and transform. One of the reasons why they change and transform so quickly on the photo reading. But that's an example from someone who, again, just had a couple of minutes of Huna. So I think you're getting the gist of where we're at with the Huna. If you've got any questions, if you've got any queries, for those of you who are watching the Facebook Live, please put them into the chat as I start to draw this to a close. Unfortunately, Win Wenger, one of the heroes of photo reading, when I went over to coach on one of Paul Sheely's workshops out in Minneapolis, I was so impressed with Win Wenger. And I was saying to Paul Sheely yesterday, Win unfortunately passed away yesterday, but he's just he was such an amazing human being. So yeah, he was fantastic. And to bring it full circle, this is kind of one of the things that really cemented in my mind the fact that you could do Huna remotely. And this must have been a good 15, 16 years ago now. A friend had called me up. I answered the phone. I'd been on site all day working for the Department for Transport, ironically implementing a remote and smart and flexible working policy and strategy program, because I've been a flexible and remote working consultant since 2003. So I was on site at the DFT doing this remote working implementation, then came home and had a proposal to write for the FCO, the Foreign and Commonwealth Office. Again, we were putting a proposal together for a new remote working policy and program for them. And if you've ever had to write a response to tender, you know these documents are humongous. So I'm working on that. I get a phone call. She's crying and she's drunk. And she said she was phoning up just to say thank you for being her friend, and that she was going to kill herself that night. So I then said, okay, can you hold off doing it tonight, leave it for another night, and am I okay to send you some Huna tonight? So she says yes. So we talk a bit. She hangs up the phone. Now, I've been on site all day, so I've probably been up since 5 o'clock in the morning. I was writing the proposal till about 1 in the morning. I then went upstairs and I just fell asleep. Sat and fell asleep. Woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning. Thought, oh my goodness, I didn't do the Huna. So I'm sat in bed here where I live, and she's in South London, as we used to say. And so I'm thinking about her in my mind, and I'm like and I send her like a little Huna protocol. Next morning, I come downstairs and look at my emails, and there's an email from her. She says, oh, so sorry about last night. I had a really bad relationship breakup. Bit of fluff again. What's happening with that bit of fluff? Probably didn't catch it first time. So she said, I've had a really bad relationship breakup. I haven't been eating, haven't been sleeping well for the last few months. So really embarrassed about yesterday. But she said, now this is the part where you tell me you didn't do anything. But last night, and she says around 3 o'clock in the morning, I suddenly felt very peaceful, very calm, and I had the best night's sleep I've had in months. And then I had that goosebumps moment where I was like, oh my goodness, because in what she said in the email, those were the exact symbols and the intention that I'd sent over. And I was like, whoa, because I already knew that energy could travel, but to have it be that tangible and that real, it was like, wow. Oh my gosh. So that was my first experience of Huna was in October 2000, being on the receiving end when I did my NLP practitioner training. But this was a client now, friend, like, wow. And that was the beginning of me going, oh, so you don't need to be in the same room. And that was really then when I started doing things remotely. And for those of you who've been following me for a while, you know I've been doing online coaching, online training, and online therapy since 2005. So 15 years before the pandemic pivot. And Huna is one of those secret ingredients, which is why people still have exactly the same experience and exactly the same kind of power that you get when you're kind of sitting in front of me. So it is amazing stuff. So if you've got any questions, if you have any queries about anything I have shared, my email is marilyn@transformationstm.com. Marilyn, for those who may be listening rather than watching, it's MARILYN at trance, TRANCE, F for Freddie, so FORMATIONS, TMS and trademark. So marilyn@transformationstm.com. My main website is www.transformationstm.com. My blog is marilyndevonish.com, and Devonish is DEV for Victor, ONISH. That's also where you'll find me on social media, except for Instagram, which is a NeuroSuccess coach. It is also at Marilyn Devonish is my Clubhouse handle for those of you who are on Clubhouse, because I'm going to do a Huna Q&A room probably next week, maybe this weekend, see how we go for time. But I'm going to do a Huna Q&A room in Clubhouse as well, just to answer any of your questions. So that is how you can get hold of me. But yeah, it's cool stuff. Da 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 da. Da, da. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to share with you about the Huna, which is, oh gosh, yeah, let me see. Oh gosh, what would I have called it? I'm just trying to think, what would I have called? Oh, no, this isn't what I was looking for, but it's cool as well. I felt a bit bad about this one, I have to admit. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, well, maybe people imagine the Huna is amazing. When I went on a Caribbean cruise in March 2015, so I hear about a place which has opened up what I'm going to call open source dolphins, which means when the dolphins are not working, they can just swim out into the ocean, because I didn't like the idea of the enclosures. So you go to this place and you can do your photograph with the dolphin, which you can see here. So that morning at breakfast, I'd had breakfast with two women who were also on the cruise. I said, oh, what are you doing today? I said, oh, I'm going on the dolphin, the dolphin dive day. And they went, oh my God. And it turns out they did Reiki. I said, oh, I do Huna. And they were saying, oh yeah, animals respond very well to energy. And I said to them over breakfast, do you know what? I'm going to use the Huna with the dolphin and see how the dolphin responds. So we're all there now, and we broke into groups of 5 or 6, and I think there were 3 or 4 handlers. So we're in, there's about 20 of us. So we're all in our groups, 5 or 6 groups, and we're all in our group. And then the handler is explaining how it works and how to pose as a dolphin, etc. So while she's talking, I then look at and the dolphin is just swimming about. I then start to do the Huna, and I'm sending my energy to the dolphin. The dolphin just makes this about turn. What do you call it? The nose, whatever. I'm going to say the nose, but somebody who knows what that's called, tell me. And basically comes and pushes its nose into my stomach. The woman who's running the briefing session looked around and went, it's fine, it's okay. I said, no, and she was like, what's going on? And I said, it's fine, it's okay, carry on. So the dolphin now has its nose in my stomach, and then I'm sending the Huna in, and I start stroking the dolphin. She then looks around and says, she never lets anyone do that. And I went, oh, I just have a way with animals. And so now she's doing the briefing, but she can't understand what's going on because this is her dolphin. She knows the dolphins very well. Now it comes time to take the photographs. I was second in line. So she's now trying to get the dolphin to move to the first person. Dolphin was having none of it. She says, okay, let's do your photograph first, and then we'll move to the others. So I do my photograph with the dolphin, and this is where I felt really bad. Oh my God. The dolphin refused to leave my side. It was literally had me almost pinned up against the wall. And every time I stopped sending the energy and stopped stroking the dolphin, it would give me a little nudge like, oi, come on. In the end, our group had to abandon the photo shoot, and we had to wait for one of the other groups to finish so we could use their dolphin. Now she was just about to start telling the dolphin off, and I put my hand up and I says it's absolutely, I said, number 1, I'm fine. I said, but number 2, I said, animals seem to like me, so I wouldn't be too hard on the dolphin. But she, she started to go red, and she couldn't understand what was going on, because they do these tours all the time. You have one group in, one group out, one group in, one group, and she said, I've never seen that before. And I thought, I'm not even going to go into the conversation about Huna, because it will just take, it'll just be too, I'm sure it'll be too much for them to take. But yeah, that's the dolphin Huna story. And the thing that makes me smile about that one, the dolphin wasn't going, oh, it's Marilyn Devonish and she does Huna, I think I'll like it just because I like what Marilyn does. Dolphin had no idea who I was, no idea what Huna is, but responded so powerfully. I might have to do this one as a separate video, because it's just a lovely short story. It'd be a nice one to tell in short form. But yeah, so for those of you who are like, oh, I'm not really sure about that, and do people just imagine it works? There's me and the dolphin, and the dolphin absolutely loved it. So thank you all for watching. Hi Coral, how are you? Thank you all for watching. As I said, if you've got any questions or queries, drop me an email. What I'll do is I'll put the link to the 40% off, and with the link, you just click the link. I've already built the 40% off into the whole link. If you want to write it down, it's coming along the screen now. So if you go to transformationstm.com/newzenler.com, Z-E-N or Z-E-N, ZENLER.com, that's where you'll find all of my online courses, and the code is Huna, New Year 40. So if you're going straight to the Zenler site, when you go enrolling course, you click the black enrolling course button. It will then take you to the checkout. You can put the promo code, and if you're watching this and you're just going straight to the site now, but if you wait and I put the link into the description, the code is built into the link. But if you're going straight to transformationstm.com, .newzenler.com, that will take you to the e-learning site, and then you just use the coupon code, which is the last bit, which is Huna New Year 40, and that will take 40% off the price at the moment. And I'm probably going to be looking at how I do this next year, but for anyone purchasing at the moment, you get lifetime access to that course material, so you can re-watch it and re-experience it and redo the processes as many times as you like, whenever you like. Cool. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you know someone who could benefit from this workshop, please feel free to send them the link, send them the details. And as I always say when I'm doing the Huna sessions, or if I'm doing it in the workshops, set your intention, because I'll be asking that question in the workshop anyway. Do you want to fire things up? Do you need more energy? Do you need more motivation? Do you need more focus? Do you need more drive? Do you need to calm things down? Do you want to feel more in alignment? Do you want to have a deeper connection with self, with the universe, opening up the third eye, opening up the crown? Do you want to be cutting those old links and ties and connections and letting go of the past? You're going to be deciding your intention as you go through the workshop, and Huna does all of that and so much more. So thank you for watching. Thank you so much. For those of you who here in the thread, oh hang on, there's quite a lot. Finally going to do this with you. That's great. Yes, cool. I'm going to take it again. I think you're talking about the photo reading course there. Am I available on WhatsApp? No, that's one of the apps I don't actually have. So no, I'm not on WhatsApp. But Facebook, email, that's the easiest way to kind of message me and get in touch. But yeah, thank you for watching. For those of you who are in Clubhouse, I will see you there. For those of you who are not in Clubhouse, or you're hearing people talking about it and you're like, what is that? I've just written a blog and I've done a video explanation of what is Clubhouse, how does it work, how do you get in. So if you're watching this in real time, it's on my Facebook page. If you're on my YouTube channel, if you go open up all my videos, it will be the one that's probably sitting right next to this one in terms of the time and date stamp. And I also have done a blog about it this morning as well, which you'll find on marilyndevonish.com. But the link to that explaining Clubhouse is all there in the blog and in the YouTube video. So if you're on Clubhouse, I will see you in the corridors or in one of the rooms. And for those of you who are signing up for the Huna workshop this weekend, enjoy. And what I'm going to do for everyone who signed up for the Huna workshop over the years, in a few weeks' time, we're going to do actually a live session where we do some live energy clearing as well to supplement what's in the video webinar recording. So if you're purchasing this weekend, I will include you in that live Huna energy clearing session as well. So you get to also experience it in real time. So thank you. For those of you who have been customers and clients over the years, I really appreciate it. And if you know someone who could benefit from the Huna, please feel free to share the link and the details with them. And if you're watching this and you've been a Huna client, please feel free to put your comments into the thread, because it's always nice for people to hear from real people who have done it, rather than, because oftentimes people are telling me, information in secret, but they're not actually sharing it in public. So it then sounds like, and I've had somebody say, you making these testimonials up, because they can't believe it's true. So I really appreciate it when you do also, you don't have to divulge what you were working on, but just sharing the outputs like Lack and David has done. That's a real help, because you can see it's real people getting real results and clearing real issues. So I really appreciate that as well. Catch you all later. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are in the world, and stay healthy and stay safe. Marilyn Devonish from transformationstm.com, over and out.